Hello and welcome. In this video I'll be trying out Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. This isn't a type of game I normally play, but thankfully it has a built-in benchmark, so I'll be making use of that. The title does detect the hardware and recommend two settings based on that, biased towards visual quality or performance. Alongside those are various presets. I've tested the lower end, which includes minimum, basic and balanced. I also run balance preset with XeSS performance as an alternative. The two recommended settings do use XeSS. Very briefly, here are the main PC specs and software versions. Pause if you need to. And on to the results. You can see later in individual benchmark results, this system is mainly limited by the Arc A380. I only tested it at 1080p. Looking at the two recommended settings the game offered, there is a bit of difference between them. Visual quality gave an average 54 FPS and performance gave 61 FPS. Both of these use render scaling through Intel XeSS. How do the presets do? Minimum does 71 FPS average, however the game does use some kind of render scaling. It isn't even consistent between the settings screen, where it is shown as 50%, and the benchmark results screen, showing 66%. Regardless, this looks rather blurry as can be seen later on in individual results. Basic preset looks okay, but it only gives an average of 44 FPS. Increasing to balance preset drops this further to 40 FPS. This could be fine for other games, but might not be the best for this type of shooter. Can XeSS come to the rescue? Running balance preset with XeSS performance mode, we see the average go up to 54 FPS. This is the same average as the game recommended visual quality setting, but the FPS lows are slightly higher. Overall, it seems this title does need scaling to get higher frame rates. How does the trade-off look? Here I'm comparing three of the tests. On the left is the recommended visual quality setting. In the middle is the balance preset without any scaling. On the right is the balance preset with XeSS performance mode. So how do these look? Personally, at normal speed I can't say I see a clear difference between them, even when shown side by side here. Let's take a closer look at specific frames. Here we see a built-up area. There's not a lot of difference between these. If you look at the high contrast areas like the windows of the buildings, the middle one maybe looks a little sharper. In this scene, there is more of a visible difference, thanks in part to the higher contrast areas. Look at the person in the gun sight, the textures on the building, and even the tree in the background. This time, the middle one is obviously sharper. Here it is similar to the previous scene in that the middle one feels sharper overall. However, if you look more closely, I'd say there are also more negative effects visible too. Look at the left edge of the door. The upscaled image looks smoother, but the middle one is slightly jagged. Similar for the pipe to the right of the door. This is not limited to this single frame. I did look at some frames either side, and the same remains present. Overall, these differences might not be noticed in normal gameplay, especially if there is fast-paced action going on. While this does make a difference to image quality, it doesn't seem to be a massive one, and it will be a trade-off for performance. I'll end it here. There is more video after this point where I'll show the individual runs of the benchmarks, timestamps in description. Let me know if you like this and want to see more in this style for other games.